Rupa Goswami is quoting so many verses from his different plays. And Ramananda Roy is asking him questions. What is the alliteration? What is the Mangalacharana? And so on. And so at the end of this, hearing this, Ramananda Roy submitted at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the super excellence of Rupa Goswami's poetic expression and began to praise it as if he had thousands of mouths. Then he's going on praising him. And then one of the praises is, the wonderful descriptions of Rupa Goswami are superb arrangements to express loving affairs. Hearing them will plunge the heart and ears of everyone into a whirlpool of transcendental bliss. But what is the use of a bowman's arrow or a poet's poetry if they penetrate the heart but do not cause the head to spin? So, then he says, Lord Chaitanya says, I met Rupa Goswami at Prayag. He attracted and satisfied me because of his qualities. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu praised the metaphors, this is the point, praised the metaphors and other literary ornaments of Srila Rupa Goswami's transcendental poetry. Without such poetic attributes, he says, there is no possibility of preaching transcendental melodies.
That's really good. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself told that, right? I think somebody, Pastor Abraham was maybe somebody said to them. Very well. Huh? Last year we just had to hold it also. There? Okay.
Then, can you all see it?
No, not there.
But I can see.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshuramitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Niti Namine Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Jai Gosai Kuri Charana Mandan Jahvite Vishnunaha Vishta Puran Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamukhyam Dadati Swapadantikam Adadanaktinam Dante Ridam Yache Punah Punah Srimad Rupa Padambujo Dulisyam Janmani Janmani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jayatam Surato Pangur Mama Mandamate Gati Matsarvasva Padambujo Shri Shri Radha Madanamo Mano Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 First of all, I would like to offer my unlimited Anvat pranams unto the lotus feet of our beloved Srila Gurudev, Nitlila Vishnu Vishnupada, plus the Sri Bhaktivedanta Sri Narayana Goswami Maharaj, without whose mercy, people like me wouldn't even know the name of Rupa Goswami. So, today I know Rupa Goswami, but not that I know fully, at least I know his name, that's what I meant to say, at least I know his name, at least I know the names of the works he did, and at least I know, something that I heard from him. So that is like something. If I said nothing, then it means that Gurudev gave me nothing, right? So it's more like a fault on Gurudev. So he gave, and to my capacity, something did receive, reach me. So to that Gurudev, by whose mercy today I know something about Srila Rupa Goswami Pad, and to our Sri Rupanu Guru Varg, the lineage of Gurus. Oh, I'm really sorry.
No problem. I say little Sema.
Thank you. To our Guru Varga, by whose mercy today we know the glories of Sri Rupa Goswami Pad, and finally unto the lotus feet of Sri Rupa Goswami Pad himself, without whose mercy we cannot know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we cannot know Radha, we cannot know Krishna and their love and their praying, and without whose the works he did, the literary works that he gave us, without whose mercy, though Sri Rupa Goswami Pad is not here today personally, but without the literary works that he did, without which mercy of his literary works, today we wouldn't know who Rupa Goswami Pad is, what he wanted to give, what was his mood. So it's his mercy that he mercifully gave us all these works for us to know about Sri Radha Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and what is the goal of life and all those things. So before I begin, I would apologize to all of you that last year I was told, oh, try something on PowerPoint or something like that, but I'm lazy. And this kind of work is kind of difficult to depict it on the PowerPoint. You need to draw the whole thing. It's kind of very difficult to do the whole thing. It's more easier, you just, like if you would see later on, I just...
Wow.
Somebody else did it, so I just used that basically to save time. Last year, we did start on Chitrakavya. I guess we had a whole hour discussing the basics of Kavyam basically. We didn't even enter into Chitrakavya actually. We just discussed the whole hour just on what the Kavyam means, because we need to know that before we enter into Chitrakavya. So this year I would like to recap somebody who are new and who came last year and who forgot what happened last year. So I would like to recap succinctly and then move on with the main topic. Like we heard from Manjari Didi, Chaitanya Charitamrita, like when Sri Rupa Goswami Pad came to Jagannath Puri the second time, first time he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Prayag. The next time he came to Jagannath Puri, there he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the parshad of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he poked Sri Rupa Goswami Pad, speak something on this thing and that thing. And then the whole group started, they were asking, what is the Mangalacha? What is the beauty of this? What is the style in which you wrote all these things? This is really strange, at least for us, where the present day mood we have, I would like to speak on the present day mood we have within the followers of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada and his parampara. Basically, we have this mood that what is the need for all these things? All you have to do is chant Hare Krishna, you go back to Godhead. Right? Right?
Yeah.
You chant Hare Krishna, you go to God. So what's the trouble? I mean, why do we need to take all this trouble? Didi, can you? You know? Yeah. It's kind of distracting a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, question is, like I said, all we have to do is just chant Hare Krishna and go back to God. So what's the need for all these things? Then we can even ask, if Sri Rupa Goswami Pad knew this thing, why he had to write Stavamala? Why he had to write all this Chitrakapyam? Why he had to write all these things? And even not just Rupa Goswami Pad, Jiva Goswami Pad, Lord Sri Raghunath Goswami Pad, Lord Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Pad, Stavamrita Lahari, Sri Raghunath Goswami Pad, Stavavali, and Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote all these poems also in Bengali language. So what's the need? That thing you quoted, that's really relevant to this topic, wherein Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself says, to taste the mellows, ras. I mean, sorry if I use the technical terms, ras. Because if you say ras, that, I mean, if I use a technical term, that kind of directly touches the heart. If you use mellows, at least for me, I can't relate it at all. For example, I read like Nectar of Devotion when I was in college. There were so many terms, but then I couldn't relate it. But then when I came to Gurudev, Bhakti, Ras, Prem, and all those words, then something strikes in your thing. Yeah, these things. But when you say like mellows, okay, I mean for those who don't know it, I mean it helps, but not for somebody who has some kind of relationship. So if I use the technical terms, please forgive me. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says to taste the ras. Well, we are not on that category yet, at least not me, but technically, for those who have reached the stage of ras, when they reach the stage of bhav, that's when, I mean, it's just rati. When the rati mixes with four kinds of ingredients, Anubhav, Vibhav, Satvik, Sanchari. These four ingredients, for example, if you just have a lemon and you put the lemon juice, I mean, concentrate, it wouldn't make a lemonade, would it? You need the ingredient like the water, maybe the salt or sugar. So if you have the whole ingredient, then you have a nice preparation of lemonade. Similarly, if it just only like rati, but if it doesn't have the ingredients of anubhav, vibhav, satvik and vyabhichari, it wouldn't become a ras, a juice. Ras actually, I mean, like literally means drink. But the drink is of three categories. First category is very gross, like the lemonade you drink. That's also ras, but that's for the gross body. The next category is for Bhaktivinoda Thakur ji. He writes this in Prem Pradeep. He writes these three kinds of ras. That's what I quote. So second kind of ras is on a mental platform, like you listen to this kavya, like at least the mundane poetry, like the Shakespeare, like the Wordsworth, or even the Kalidas, Shakuntala. These kind of poetry, it thrills you, it makes you cry, it makes you feel joy. So this kind of poetry is also ras, but this ras is not like the gross, the ras that you drink like lemonade, but this is for your mind. It's like subtle. And the third ras is transcendental. That ras is like we heard yesterday there, Vyatita Bhavanavatma Sachamatkara Bharabu Risatujjale Vadam Sadate Sarasomata. Sri Rupa Goswami Pad explained this in Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This ras is transcendental ras. This is for the soul. The gross body has ras, the subtle body has ras, the spiritual conscious soul has ras. Hare Krishna. So the spiritual conscious soul, it also has ras. That ras is real ras. That's like the actual thing. So to taste this ras, like I'm just elaborating on what you told because that's like really relevant for us today to know why we are deliberating even on Chitrakavya and what Kavya is, what all the ornamentation is, what is the need, because there is a need. That's where I'm trying to come. So this ras, this is for the soul. So when this thing is tested like on the platform of the soul, then it's called as bhakti ras, or we generally call it as ras. That's when it happens, when it's like, when we reach the platform of rati in the sense, we don't have any more attachment to the gross and subtle body. We are like spiritually situated on the spiritual platform. That's when you start drinking the spiritual ras. Not before that. You have distraction before that from the gross subtle body. How can you drink? It's not possible. So to drink that the spiritual ras, what do you need? You don't need the gross things like the lemonade. And to drink the spiritual ras, you don't need the subtle ras like the mundane poetry by Shakespeare or Wordsworth or Shakuntala, the Kalidas and all those people. You don't need the mundane poetry because they speak about heroes and heroines who are also mundane. They have defects, basically. Sri Rupa Goswami Pad, he explained, I mean, if you see our, like the lineage of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all Sri Rupa Goswami Pad and others, they have written elaborate books on the technicalities of how to write a drama. Sri Rupa Goswami Pad has, like he has written Sri Natak, Chandrika. Shri Kavi Karnapur Goswami has written Alankar Kaustubh explaining how to ornament the spiritual things. So it's all like explained very nicely in all these literatures basically. I mean, it's all very systematic. I mean, now we don't see all those things. Now we have no clue about all these things basically, but these things are there. These things are there. So to taste this spiritual ras, what are the things you need? These four things, like I said, Anubhav, Vibhav, then Sattvic and Sanchari. But this Vibhav, Anubhav, Sattvic and Sanchari, these are actually effects basically, reactions. But Vibhav is again divided into two. Like Alamban, Uddipan. Alamban means based upon which the ras is like developed. I don't know the exact technical English equivalent of it. Maybe you can help me. Alamban.
I don't think there's one.
Huh?
I don't think there's.
No. Okay. So Alamban. So then there is again like Vijaya and Ashray. Vijaya is Krishna and Ashray is the devotees basically. Then again the second classification in this ras is Uddipan. Uddipan is basically stimulus. Yes, stimulus. So from where do we get this stimulus? Not just only like visual, like for example if you see Govardhan you get the stimulus. But it's not just only by the eyes. Sometimes mostly by ears also, and mainly by ears. So if you remember when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Gambhira, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came here for what reason? To taste the ras. Prema rasa niryas kurite aswadan. To taste that prema. But how did he taste it? How did he taste it? That's like the main question. How did he taste it? By eating it? Sleeping on it? So if you go deep into it, you would know every night, when nobody is there, when no external disturbances are not there, like, oh Maharaj, please, people coming and disturbing, give me child, give me this, give me that. When no such disturbances are there, when he's all alone in his Gambhira, only two people, they are allowed to go in there. Swarup Damodar Goswami and Rayalaman Goswami. Only two people. What did they do there? Do they do massage? It's not excluded, they could do it, but that's not their main seva. They help Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in tasting the ras. But how? Through words. They used to sing mainly from these 5 books, poetic works, from Vilamangal Thakur's Krishna Karnamrit, Jayadev Goswami Pa's Gita Govind, then Srimad Bhagavatam, and even in Srimad Bhagavatam, especially Gopi Geet, Venu Geet, Brahmar Geet, and all those main 5 life airs of Srimad Bhagavatam basically, and Jagannath Vallabh Natak, and one more, I don't remember. Yeah, Chandidas and Vidyapati's poetic works. So these words and their ornamentations and the beautifications and their feelings and their moods, and Swarup Damodar Goswami is a nice singer, and when you have these words laid out and when you sing in a really perfect tune, it just goes straight into the soul. It touches there. And immediate reaction is Sattvic Bhav. You start crying. That's how the ras is tasted. By the words. By the beautification of the words. You could just say Krishna is dancing. Or you could say that black boy who's playing the flute on the banks of Yamuna on a night of spring season, all alone, is playing flute. You could just say playing flute, or you could just add all these beautifications, these adjectives to it, and beautify the whole thing and say that he is playing flute. So if we say like this, then moods come with it, the feelings come with it. That's why these ornamentations are mainly needed. These are called ornamentation. Like for example, Thakurji Seva. But if you don't shringar, if you don't ornament him, then that bhav, that feeling may not come to that level. So you try to decorate him nicely, really nicely, So these beautifications are really needed, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just said. If we have these beautifications, if we have these ornamentations, then these transcendental mellows, meaning ras, bhav, immediately flows into your heart, and you are just flooded with this mood of bhakti ras, and we just washed away by the whole thing. There's so much powerful in these words, so much feeling in these words. That's why these ornamentations are needed in poetry. And another aspect is, Shri Krishna told in Srimad Bhagavatam that 24 qualities of a Vaishnava. Huh? 26. Okay, sorry. 26 qualities of a Vaishnava. And among that you have Kavi. One quality among that is being a poet. I mean, it doesn't mean that if somebody is not a poet, they cannot become a devotee. But, yeah, this quality is inherent in a devotee. I mean, if you love Krishna, automatically something comes out in kind of words, in kinds of this thing. I mean, those words are laid out nicely, automatically, you know. So this inherent nature of being a poet is always there. So, if we talk about the poetry, we are actually talking about like one of the qualities of a Vaishnava, being a poet. So, today we would like to talk about one of the qualities of Sri Rupa Goswami Pada, of him being a transcendental poet. How he can explain so nicely, so beautifully, so tough, using of like words. For example, he could use the word moon, and he could like repeat the word moon. But rather than like repeating the same words, he used synonyms. Each time new synonyms. He mostly never repeats the words. Always new synonyms. That's like a real mastery of language. Real beauty also of using different choice of words. So, you can just keep it for a minute. So, in this way, we are trying to talk about the transcendental quality of Sri Rupa Goswami Pada, of him being a great poet. So he could write nicely. Like in Stavamala, he has all categories of these poems. And like there is Vrudavali, that's like really tough to write. He has Champu, he has Chitrakavya, pictorial poems. To write a pictorial poem, I mean, think about it. You have to make a plan before that, I need to write, picture like this. Then you need to think about the words that you use. That's not easy. It's not all easy. It's really tough. Sri Rupa Goswami Pada, basically he did it. What we can assume is to show that yes, these things can be done, are done, and will be done mainly on Sri Radha Krishna. Because before him, some people tried on the mundane topics like Prakrit Nayak and Nayika, the heroines. So if they could do on the mundane level, so he wanted to show, no, this could actually go and touch Sri Radha Krishna. This should touch Sri Radha Krishna basically. So that's why he tried to show in Stavamala, he tried to use different kinds of techniques, like using just one word, just using two words to explain Radha Krishna Leela. One word or even just two words, like repeating those two words again and again to explain Radha Krishna's Leela. That's amazing. We would be seeing all those things. I would try to go deep into, explain word by word meaning and all those stuff. So, to get into all these things, that's why last year I tried to go with the basics, what the poetry is, all those things. I would just like to recap it shortly, and then we will go on the topic. Pictorial poems. It actually means you write a poem in such a way that they could be fit or they could resemble some kind of a picture, like a sword, like a flower, like a wheel, like a snake, so many different shapes. This is what actually means pictorial poems. I think I mean, it's my assumption basically. I'm not sure. I think none other language has such a thing. Is it true? I don't know. I think-
English
They
Huh?
do in English.
In English they had?
Sometimes poems in the shape of.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Japanese who did that first, and now haiku. It's called haiku, right? And
Different.
no,
Okay.
but
There's
Japanese
a certain
language
meaning.
has pictures
Okay.
instead of words.
But
Chinese too.
No, that's different.
That's different.
That's different. The characters are pictures.
here the character is not picture. Here the character is not picture. Here we have like the 4 lines of a verse. Those 4 lines can be depicted in such a way that they could resemble a snake or a sword or a wheel.
You mean like the words on the page? You look at it and it looks like a.
No, you have to actually fit in actually, not that it will. Okay.
Can you give an example?
I'm gonna come there actually. Now I'm just only giving shapes exactly. I will come there. Just a minute. Yeah. Sorry. These poems, actually, these 4 lines, like I said, the 4 lines are 2 lines. These things, I mean, like it wouldn't resemble these shapes just by looking at it. No, they will be just like a verse. But you will have to fit them in those pictures in such a way that they would resemble such whole thing.
I'll show you.
Yeah, I will show it to you. No, don't move it forward. Because when you talk on this phone, we'll just show them. Like for example, this one here, you see here? You will have to like fit in here the words and you have to like do it. Then when you read from here, the sequence goes from here to here to here to here like that. Then it will resemble like a wheel. You'll have to like draw it and fit the words and then it will resemble those things basically. I mean, it's not like if you see a poem, it will resemble like a wheel.
So first you draw the picture and then you put in the words.
Normally, for example, Srila Prabhupada or any other poet, they just give only the words. They don't like draw it. They just say that I've written this poem based on wheel format. So you have to draw the wheel, and you have to do the whole thing. Huh?
I don't think they have that name.
Yeah. No other language they have it. And to be exact, it's not just Sri Rupa Goswami Pad. Actually, in Srimad Bhagavatam, these pictorial poems are done. Yes. Okay, we'll go there now. So I thought I'll go later, but here. See here in Gopiki, mainly in Gopiki. If you have heard Shri Vasudev Krishna Chaturvedi, Vasudevji, right? He used to tell these things, but I guess nobody, or only a few people, they got what he told, like that. But he used to tell these things. So in Gopi Geet, like for example, this verse, verse number 2 in Gopi Geet. Sharadudashaye sadhu jata sat sarasi shodara shri mushadrisha suratanate ashulkadashika barada nignato neha kimbada. These 4 lines of this verse, see here, ra, 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 ra. So they have this ra in the center. So then you have this sequence here, shara, dudashaye, jatu, jata, sat. This first line comes from here to here. Then you go, then again you start from here. I mean, you go from here, then they need to see it. Okay, some like Brahmacari can do it. Brahmacari can do it. You can see the video later on, I guess they're doing the video. So, you start from here, you go to the Ra, then you do the whole thing, this first line, then you come back, then again you start, like after this you go to Sa. Then you say Sara Sidodara, Sara Sidodara, Shrimusha Disha. Then again you start from here, Su, Sura, Sat Sura, Suratanatate Ashulka Dasika. Then again you come here, Vara, Varada Nignato, Neha Kimbada. So the whole thing, it resembles a lotus flower. This is what a pictorial poem actually means. This is, it's in Gopi Geet. I mean, where else it would be? I mean, if it's not in Gopi Geet, where else it would be? Gopis knows all things, so I mean, it's not a surprise. For example, even if you see the first shloka of Gopi Geet, Jayati te dikam janmana vraja jaja. Vasudev ji used to say this every year. I mean, if you notice, I don't know, ja. I mean, he would say ja, ha, like that. So this words like Jayati te dikam jaja, janmana vraja. Then again sha, shrayata indira shashvadatrahi, sha. Same words are repeated. This is also called as anupras. Anupras means repetition of consonants. Syllables. I will come in the beginning later on. Just like there are two types of like the word repetition. One you repeat just the vowels, and one you just repeat the consonants. Ka, at least in Sanskrit, ka, ja, like that. So you just repeat those words. So here if you see sha, it's repeated. Then again, the next line if you see daita drishyatam dikshutavaka, da is again repeated in the exact place, like 7 characters. After that, then again, it's repeated in the same place. You play some more. So in this, the first shlok, it's like repetition of the words actually. And then, I mean, these are like 3 examples. There are so many in Gopi Geet. I just picked only like 2 or 3 of them. Then again in the 12th shlok, if you see Dina Parikshaye Neela Kuntalai Vana Ruhananam Vibraravatam Ganarajaswalam Darshayan Muhur Manasina na Smara Virakim Virachasi. So this whole shlok is being drawn like a 4-petaled flower. Maharaj, Dhanavad. So in Gopi Geet, this shlok is depicted as a 4-petal lotus flower. So we see that these things, I mean, was there even in Srimad Bhagavatam 5,000 years before, and even before Gopis, they have sung like this, like pictorial poems. So Shrirupa Goswami Pad, who is, Shrirupa Manjari, so he followed in their footsteps. He also wrote pictorial poems to show that devotees are not, like the normal worldly people, they think devotees are basically fools or they haven't learned anything. They just give up everything, come like that, to show that no, even the greatest scholar in the world cannot stand up to Sri Rupa Goswami Pad or our Guru Varga and challenge them. They have written such a exalted poetry, and at the same time bhakti ras is also there. It's not like just a depiction of the scholarly thing, but at the same time devotion to the exalted position is also there within that, like we would see later on. So these pictorial poems are always there, where they're basically in Srimad Bhagavatam, and Gopi is basically there. Explain this. Now let's recap what we listened last year. Just do it just a little bit. What's the time? Okay, that should be done. Sorry if I just go fast, because I can explain again. We don't have time. So we tried to listen last year what a poem means. They have a whole book on what a poem means, what are the qualities of a poem, what are the ornamentations in a poem, the different aspects of a poem. Because before, the only, like we talked before, even the mundane ras they tasted was basically the poetic kind of ras, basically. Like if you see the Shakespeare, the Wordsworth, or Byron, those kind of things, they touch to the heart, and it moved people, and it moved like generations, basically. So they have a whole literature on what the poem means and all those stuff. So they say the poem actually means those words and characters which doesn't have any kind of defects, which is full of qualities like pleasingness, then virata, like valor, and all kinds of such qualities within a poem. So this actually means, this is what a poem actually means. Those words and those characters combined together, which doesn't have any faults, which is full of qualities, and which also has ornamentations, which is called as lanka. This actually means kavya or poem. So within this ornamentation, alankar is again divided into two categories: shabda alankar and pralankar. One based on just the characters and one based on the meaning. Shabda and artha, word and the meaning. So the ornamentation based on the meaning, it's again consists of 61 categories basically, like upama, rupak, and all those different kinds of things. Like in English, if you can see a metaphor, a simile, it's equivalent in English, metaphor, simile, and all those stuff. So this actually means ornamentation based on the meaning of words, And the second category is the ornamentation, alankar, based just on the word play. That's called as shabda alankar. That's again divided into 6 categories. First one is vakrokti, like somebody says something, but it actually means, the person who listens to it, he takes in a different sense. Same words, but different meaning for different persons. That's called as vakrokti. Then anupras, it means repetition of same words again and again. See the beauty of these words. Like if you just read a translation, you didn't get these moods. Like somebody tries to read translation of Wordsworth poem. They could understand it, but it would never touch your those words and those moods and those things. Something is lost in translation, right? So it never touches. Like for example, this shlok, Yamunashtakam by Shirupa Goswami Pad, Bhraturanta Kasyapatani. I mean, it actually resembles the flow of Yamuna, the waves. Bhraturanta Kasyapatani Patti Harini, Prekshaya Pipapino Pipapa Sindutarini. The waves are like Sandams. But it's not that easy to write it. I mean, you need to choose the words exactly at each place. So this repetition of words, patti, 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 like that. This repetition of words, this is called as nupras. This repetition of words is called as anupras alankar. Then the third one is yamaka, meaning same words. This anupras actually means the character repeating. Repetition of the characters, patti, patti, itti, itti, like that. But this yamaka means word itself repeating again. Like Sujana Gudarajita Pada Yugam Yuga Dharma Durandara Patra Baram Varadava Jadayaka Puja Padam Pranamami Sada Prabhupada Padam. Yugam, Yuga Dharma, Varam, Varadavaya. Same words.
No, syllables.
Syllable.
Huh?
Same.
Yuga Yuga. Yuga hai na? Yuga. Yuga Yuga. But meaning different. Meaning different. I mean, at least not the full word, but at least, Yuga Dharma, it's combined with something else to mean something else, It's called as Yamaka. Then Shlesha. Fourth one is Shlesha. Shlesha means some word is used at like in Sanskrit you have the like dative and all kinds of, what do you call that? Declensions.
Use it.
Huh? Declension.
Declination.
Declination.
Now.
So based on these declinations, the meaning changes. So in a poem, when some word is used and the declination changes, the meaning also changes. So that's called a shlish. And then the fifth type in this ornamentation,
The same word, but different.
declination meaning different things.
Give an example.
They have this example of vidau. Like, like some poem, they have used this word vidau. So vidau is declination of two words. Vidu, when it's like decline, it becomes vidau. Then there is vidatu or vidu, some other word. I forgot what it is. Some other word which means like destroyer. That word's declination, like it also means vidau. This shloka is written for Shivji. So they use this word vidau, and just by using the single word vidau, they have two different meanings for this one single verse. First meaning Shivji who has a moon crest on his head. Vidu, from Vidu, it became vidau, and it meaning like moon, and from that the whole meaning changed, like that Shivji who has a moon on his head. And from the second meaning, it means like a destroyer. The whole meaning changed again. Like it says that, oh, that Shivji who destroyed the whole the world, we pray unto him. So just by the single word, I mean, vidau, just like Saptami Vibhakti, I think, the seventh declination. So just by using this, two different meaning comes out, because two different words have the same declination in the seventh declination. We have so many examples in Gopiki which I don't like. Remember in Kaspancha, there are some of the places we have examples. For example, same shloka is written, two different meanings come out for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for Krishna also.
Danda means meeting, danda means quarrel. Amar sange danda orni. They are saying this word, always meeting with him, another meaning, always I quarrel with him.
Two different meaning for a single word.
Amar sange danda orni.
So, fifth category within this Shabda Alankar is Chitraka. So where does this pictorial poems fit in? This actually fits in the fifth category of Shabdalankar within a poem, wherein these instruments are used to ornament a poem basically. I hope you get it, what I'm trying to say. Poem, it has two, like these categories. This Alankar, it again has like two categories, Shabdalankar, Arthalankar. And within this Shabdalankar, the fifth category is Chitrakabya. So that's what we are trying to explain. I mean, okay.
There were six categories?
Oh yeah, the sixth one is because I have only 5 minutes now. So, the sixth category is
Next year.
Punaruktavat Abhasa. We'll explain it later on.
Next year.
I mean, the main point that's like relevant this year is this. I mean, the Chitrakabya fits in the fifth category of the Shabdalankar, which is basically ornamentation of a poem based on the word play. So this whole thing is explained in different shastras. We went through it last year, so I don't think it's needed. But main thing we need to know is Kavi Karnapur Goswami. He explained these things in Lanka Kaustubh, chapter number 7, verse number 77. He also explained all these Chitraka Kavya there. I mean, those who are interested, they can go and see it. Shri Jiva Goswami Pad explained in Bhakti Rasamrita Shesh. And Shri Baldev Vidyabhushan Pal also explained this in Kavya Kaustubh. They have dealt whole book explaining on the poetics, the beautification, and the rules and regulation and the whole thing about it. So, we come to the main topic. So what does a pictorial poem actually means? So, actually there is definition for it. In Kavya Prakash, it's been told, Tat Chitram Yat Varnana Kadgadi Akriti Hetuta. So it says formation of words in a poem format which actually makes way or like it becomes a reason for different shapes like sword or like a wheel and all this stuff. Formation of words to depict a picture. Like in simple words. Formation of words in such a way that it depicts a beautiful picture. This is what actually means pictorial poems. This again, I mean this pictorial poem is again divided into like 6 categories. I mean this is being told in Saraswati Kantavarana. This is a book on poetics. There are so many books. There's one book named Saraswati Kantavarana, chapter number, section 3, shlok number 109. Section 2 I think.
109.
Yeah, it's 2, section 2 and shlok number 109. It's being told there that this pictorial poems is again divided into 6 categories. It's based on 6 categories. These pictorial poems can be done just by using varna, meaning consonants, like I told cha cha, ka, ga, ra. These are all consonants. Just by using or repeating these consonants, these poems can be made. Then, second category is swara. Just by using vowels like just by using this, then again also pictorial poems can be made. Then the third is sthana, meaning place, like in Sanskrit they have the systematic thing of the placement of your tongue, like upper, what do you call it? Yeah. Different places. Palatal and all those places. So based on those placements, so then again you can make these pictorial poems. Then the fourth category is akara, meaning the shape, like a lotus, like a sword, all this stuff. And the fifth category is gati, meaning, for example, the shlok is written. So when you read from left to right, it would mean one thing. And then if you again read from the right to left, you're totally meaning different things. This kind of the movement, for example, they have written this shlokas like this. One person has written a whole book based upon this movement. So if you read that book from left to right, it would depict Ram Leela. And then the same verse, if it's read from right to left, depicts Krishna Leela. It's called as Ramakrishna Anulom Vilom Kavya. So based upon these movements, then again this pictorial comes. And the last category is based upon the bandha, meaning some kind of closed, like for example, like a wheel. Like a wheel. This is called as a closed kind of picture. I mean, there is not like an external thing like a flower thing. So this kind of making a poem to resemble something which is closed like a wheel or like a mridang, like that, you know. So these kind of things. So there are basically like 6 kind of categories within this Chitraka. This is the last thing. I will just do it. I will just do it. Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada in his Stavamala, he has, I mean, we listen to the 6 types of pictorial poems. So basically in Stavamala, Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, like within the section of Chitrakavya, he has done basically the 4 types of pictorial poems. One is based on the words, just using a single word, na na ni ni nu 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 nu, just using a na word, and using 2 words like you would see maybe next year. Ra, sa, sa, ra. We hear these kind of verses always from Srimad Sudan Maharaj. I mean, we never know the meaning, at least he says it's Rasa, sara, susaroru, asurari, sarasarasa, samsara, asiraso, rase, suriram, susasarasa. For now it would meaning, I mean, for us it would mean like nothing. What's he trying to say? But if you try to, like, you know, break it, Sri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, just using this Ra and Sa, is depicting Krishna's Rasa Leela. Rase. Here, Rase. He is depicting Rasa Leela. Well, I don't have time to explain it, but at least I can show the different shapes he did it. Then again he did bandha, like enclosed format, like chakra bandha, like a wheel, like Muraja bandha, meaning like mridang type. Then the third category is shapes, different shapes, like a serpent, like a lotus, and like a big lotus, like 1,000-petal lotus, something like that. Then this is based upon the flow of the words. For this I don't have pictures, because there is no picture for this. You just move the words. And then there is, the name is strange for this category. It's called as Gomutra Bandha. If you know what it means, it's the way the cow passes urine. It's like a zigzag way. So that's how it's like shaped here. And then the third type which he did is Sarvato Bhadra. I mean, it actually means they have like 4 different words in like 2 different sections. If you read from this way and if you read from this way, it would mean the same thing, like Rasa, Vaha, Hava, Sara. So this is what you read from here, from left to right. But if you read from right to left, it's again the same thing, Rasa, Vaha, Hava, Sara. It's again the same thing, if you read from left to right. But it's not like a whole poem, it's only like half, like like 4 lines, they are divided again into 4 charan, like that. So within this charans, these things, the same similarity from front to back and back to front is called as sarvatobhadra. So these different kinds of pictorial things, Srila Goswami Pad has done it. These are actually examples within that. Then I thought I would go starting from the first verse. There are totally like 12 verses, 11 or 12 verses in this Chitrakavya. Stavamala has different sections, like Gitavali, Chitrakavya, Govinda, Viruddhavali, and different sections. So the one section is Chitrakavya, and within that he has written like 11 or like 12 shlokas. So I thought I would go each and every shlok, not fully, but in a slow, gradual way. So maybe next year, but at least we heard this thing this year. So maybe next year we will go deep into it, what it means, like each and every word. Here you can see that rasa, sara. See, sa is repeated again here. Same characters are repeated here. Same words here. Sasarasa, sasarasa. I mean the top, this word, maybe there's a break, but this means something else, this means something else. So these kind of like ornamentations are used by Srila Goswami Pad. Like we heard at the beginning, what's the need for all these things? Just by chanting Mahamantra you go back to Golok, but actually that's not the fact. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just said, to taste the ras, you need to listen to the words. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tasted the words of these 5 poets in Gambhira. The words, it entered into his heart, it pierced through its heart, then the Sattvic Bhav comes. The meaning of the Sattvic Bhav itself meaning, Sattva meaning heart. Those who deepen, they go and touch the heart, Sattva, then it transforms, it becomes Sattvic Bhav. Then you cry, you show 8 types of different things. So, to have this ras, transcendental ras, you need to hear transcendental words. Like I explained at the beginning, there is a gross ras, there is a subtle ras, there is a transcendental ras. To hear the transcendental ras, you need to have all these transcendental words, ornamentation, all this stuff. So, this kind of things, it helps to increase love, prem, to Radha Krishna. It increases the taste of ras. Because if you start drinking the same thing again and again, you'll be bored. So you need to use like different words, different things, then your taste increases. Krishna loved Shri Radharani, that's it, finished, right? But if you start saying in different ways, then it taste increases. So that's what all this thing is. This poetic word, the word play and all these things. Gaur Premanande, time is up, she's signaling me, okay. Gaur Premanande, and I'm sorry for not doing anything. I think even next year I will not do it, I guess.
No. We've gone through the preliminaries.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry for taking so much time also on this basic thing, because it's needed, I guess, because, this main thing is always there. Why we need all these things? Just chant and go back to God. So that's why I try to. She did raise a relevant quote from Charitamrita. That's why I try to delve on all these things, and maybe slowly from next year, gradually we will go.
Want to read it again? Okay, let me just read it for those of you who missed it. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu placed the metaphors and other literary ornaments of Srila Rupa Goswami's transcendental poetry. Without such poetic attributes, he said, there is no possibility of preaching transcendental mellows.
Ras. Transcendental mellows means ras. Without these things, the ras cannot be preached or even tasted. That's why these things are necessary. Yes?
Yeah, I have one question. Suppose I'm new here,
Okay.
and you were telling that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he tasted the mellows the bhakti ras
Okay.
by hearing the sound,
Okay.
not by seeing.
No. I mean,
and then he did so in the end of the day when there was no disturbance, and only 2 persons were present, and one was a good singer. So I am new here. Then I said, why not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invite some professional reciter or who is an expert? Why he did not do that?
that's relevant to our topic.
Sorry?
That's relevant to our topic.
Yeah, because you were telling he only needed to hear these poems, and 2 persons were allowed, and one was a good singer.
Maybe I made a
Sorry, Damodar was a good singer.
maybe I made a wrong sense, or you came late. I guess I don't know. I did start from the beginning somewhere saying that she quoted this, so then I started saying that what the ras means, what gross ras, like from the body we taste the ras,
Yeah.
from subtle thing we taste the ras, the spiritual thing we taste the ras. So then I try to tell them, like, how do you taste the ras from the spiritual platform? So for that example, I told the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did like this. So then I told the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he did in the night time when no disturbance was there and he was alone, and he tasted the words, these feelings and these moods with the help of sort of Brahamacari and all those things. I didn't try to make it in this sense that you need to call some professional or something like that.
No, my point is that the speaker
Yeah.
should have some qualification or not.
Oh yeah,
Some mood.
sure.
Or should he just be able to recite otherwise?
No, sure, because, just a minute, because, like we all know, Sri Rupa Goswami Pad is Chaitanya Manobhishtam. He knew the mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Also, Swarup Damodar Goswami, he knows the inward mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. For example, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is crying. He exactly knows for what reason he's crying. So just by ingit, hint from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Swarup Damodar Goswami, like he recites exactly the same shlok, same mood, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like he wants to listen. I mean, it's not possible for ordinary people at all. So the main thing is, that person must also be on the same level as the person who tastes the ras. Then the ras can be tasted. Otherwise, like, there will be no ras, there will be viras.
Or
Yeah, prasadas. Then it would be like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is crying, or Sri Madhavendra Puripad is crying, and Sri Ramchandra Kaviraj is saying, why do you cry? So they should be on the same platform. I hope
Pretty much, I was going to say similar, in that there is a cloaked or hidden, and without some qualification, how can we understand? And that these ornaments are like multifaceted gemstones with Krishna reflected differently in each face. And it's as if his full glories are codified, and we have to look deeply, into these artistic formats to see, to see Krishna's reflection. So you were saying about the different platforms of the gross, the mental, and the spiritual. If there's a new person, they may be looking only at the superficialities.
Yes, it's true. If you have read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there Sri Rupa Goswami exactly says what is being told in Kavya Prakash and all those places, that to taste ras, you need Praktan Sanskar, previous Sanskar, you need present Sanskar. You need 2 Sanskar, 2 impressions from previous and the present. If you don't have it, there is no way you can taste the ras. It will be like, for example, like in India we have this shire kind of thing, like poetic competition kind of thing. For a lame person, he would be like, what's happening. I mean, you wouldn't even get it. But those who have a taste for these poetic things, they would be like immersed day in and day out in all these things. But for a lame person, it will be like a waste of time. So those who have taste, those who have picked the taste, not just in a day, but it takes time, like it's being told, like from previous life, from this life. These impressions make you qualified enough to taste all these things. Without this, it's not possible. So for a lame person, like for example, Shri Gurudev, I mean, I would like to say, Gurudev actually, if you see the innermost mood of Gurudev to have this conference on Sri Rupa Goswami Pad, what's the reason? I mean, we're all new people. When I came, I was new too. And when I heard all these things, it was all like new words. But some impression has to start from somewhere. Like it has to start like somewhere, you know. So they sit through it, they listen, they don't understand, but over the years, again and again, you listen to Madanakya Mahabharata and then you figure out, what is that? Okay, let me go and see the book. So then you go and see the book, you try to read it, then you understand few words, and again you listen next year. Then gradually, like in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, now you understand, oh, what Madanakya Mahabharata is. But you have to start from somewhere. So Gurudev's main effort was to start this impression from somewhere. I mean, it's not like everybody knows like this whole thing, you know. So it helps. So Gurudev wanted to start this impression, at least from now. So in like next life, you will be qualified enough to taste all this. At least next life, you know. So yeah, Didi.
Wait a second. I was going to say very quickly that Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Srimati Radhika, and in the Gambhira, Ramananda Roy and Sarvadhamada, the Lalita and Vishaka, and they know the moods of Radha and how to bring her up and down as.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. They're on the same level, so you know, they qualify enough. Gaur Premanand, very good. I would thank Shri Manjari Didi for giving me a chance, and I would thank all of you listeners. Though I couldn't do full justice, maybe next year. Main thing is if we like finish the whole thing, there would not be like this. What's next? So this what's next attitude is good. It's make you hungry.
Thank you very much. This is keeping us. Actually, everybody came here just to hear you. And now for another year, we'll be waiting. We should do this every year. Keep us waiting. It's really wonderful. So, we're running late. Yeah.